Hello, this is Dan Sigmund, and we are continuing to bring forth information to you. For lack of information, for lack of knowledge, my people perish, is what God has said in the good book. And I think the same is true for Dodge County people here. If you don't know what's really going on, if you lack the information and the knowledge of what's really happening, you're going to be taken advantage of. I have, as you may know by now, submitted many complaints about the illegal activities, a level of lawlessness exhibited by our Dodge County Board Chairman David Froling, and the cover-up, in a sense, is what it looks like, the protection offered to him by the Sheriff of Dodge County Dale Schmidt and district attorneys, past and present, seem to be holding back, and Corporation Counsel head lawyer Kimberly Noss, who knows better and does nothing also. My first complaint was on May 17th of 2022. That's how long I've been fighting this thing. And it so happens that the sheriff, Dale Schmidt, did what he called an investigation of this complaint of the violations of many county laws and some state laws. His investigation is what I call a quasi-investigation. It's one that looks like an investigation but is imitation. It is not accurate. It brings in false premise and it distracts and deceives people. Quasi, resembling but lacking, not legitimate, lacks reality. You can find that in Cannon versus Miller. In this case, it is deficient of truth. That's what I said. Our sheriff put together this investigation which contains untruth, false premise. On May 17, 2022, Chairman David Froling broke many state and county laws, and the sheriff, Dale Schmidt, has a very special relationship with David Froling. I kid you not. I'm on the inside. I can see it. It started back in 2014, 2015 already, and they've been protecting each other's backs all the time, here and there, obviously, but enough through the years. And he now, the sheriff, I believe, looks like he is protecting David Froling from these law violations. You can view the complaint of May 17th on this website with a video that explains it. Watch it, read the complaint, and educate yourself. This complaint revolves around Chairman Froling's committee appointments at the beginning of this session in May of 2022. At the May 17th meeting, he had chosen all his committee appointments, and they were brought before the full board at this meeting for confirmation. This was brought forward as an incidental main motion, and according to Robert's Rules of Order, incidental main motions are debatable. You can discuss them after the motion is made and seconded. Discussion is allowed according to Robert's Rules of Order and county law. But on that day, when I came into that meeting, I wasn't positive about that yet. You know, sometimes you learn from experience, right? I went into that meeting assuming we would discuss it, and then when that item of business came up, Chairman David Froling said, no discussion on this motion. Then we had parliamentarian and head lawyer Kimberly Noss tacitly sit by and agree. And I thought to myself, well, maybe I am mistaken, right? So there wasn't any. It was later, after I did some research, that I found out they were wrong. I called them both up and said, give me proof that there is no debate, no conversation, nothing allowed, no discussion about that motion to confirm. They could not. There isn't any. Live and learn. But anyhow, well, in his investigation, how does Sheriff Schmidt turn this violation of law into a non-violation? How does this report do that? You would be amazed. I think he's a gymnastic, because the gymnastics he pulls here is just astounding. I think he'd get a 10. 1 to 10 on his gymnastics abilities here. He is going to protect David Froling at no cost. So, the sheriff dug up a policy on committee appointments. Well, that sounds good, right? But he dug up a policy on special committee appointments. Special committee appointments that are made during a meeting in open session. And on special committee appointments made by the chairman in an open meeting with all supervisors present, there is no discussion. There is no debate. The supervisors can make a motion to delete names. He usually advances more than he needs, and they make a motion to delete this one or delete that one, but there's no discussion. So that is true, but he says this applies to this complaint where it was committee assignments of supervisors to standing committees who were arranged, the membership arranged by the chairman apart from an open meeting. Then his appointments come to a regular meeting for action by the full board to approve them, to confirm them. And at this confirmation vote, discussion is allowed. It is different than a special committee. It is a regular standing committee. But Dale says it appears that there is no discussion for committee assignments. A blatant lie. That's only for special committees, not for these standing committees. And this is his way of twisting truth to get his way in making you believe a lie. So the sheriff dug that policy up, and we see that it was a way to exonerate the board chairman. Debate is always allowed. So what kind of investigator would not find that there's two different ways to appoint committees and two different ways to approve those committee appointments? You know, he might even have found that, but he didn't like the real one, so he went and he brought forward the other one maybe. I don't know. But if you are an investigator, you should be able to find that, right? Well, I believed that they were going to be honest at that meeting, and that's why I believed them, but they weren't. And the sheriff concluded, it appears that debate is not a part of the process of committee appointments and confirmation. That is not true. The sheriff is dead wrong. He's protecting Chairman Froling at the expense of enforcing county law. If he would enforce county law, he would not have come up with that. Ironically, immediately following that, you're going to get a kick out of this, I think. Immediately following the fact that he told me you couldn't discuss committee appointments, guess what Chairman Froling started doing? Discussing a committee appointment with another supervisor on the Inter-County Coordinating Committee. This other supervisor said, I'm not happy with this committee appointment here. I think I should be on that committee because that's the way it's been done all along. And did the chairman say, I'm sorry, we don't discuss committee appointments? No, he didn't. He started talking with him and then told him that another supervisor would be removed from that Inter-County Coordinating Committee and he would be put on. Wow. Nothing like having it both ways, huh? Oh, boy. What are we going to do? Our sheriff said this was okay, but the law says it wasn't. That's the kind of investigation that's going on to protect those in power. I need your help to turn this around. So the chairman made that decision to change that committee makeup. At a subsequent meeting, we approved and confirmed his new appointment to that committee. But you know what? the other supervisor who was officially on that committee and confirmed by the board was never properly removed from that committee with a 2/3 affirmative vote of members elect. Now, it is possible that this supervisor submitted a letter of resignation. That is possible, but we heard nothing of the sort. The sheriff wants his buddy, David Froling, to do things any way he wants to, regardless of the requirements of law. Now, what can we do about it? Take action, people, please. The power is in the people. Look to other tabs. There's phone numbers and emails. You can contact people. Let them know we want things to start happening differently. This investigation from the sheriff contained many other lies and misstatements and redundancies that I didn't want to get into here. You can read it yourself on this site. This is just another example of a biased investigation. It began with a desired result. Here's where I want to end. Now, how am I going to get there? And he just makes his case in a way that isn't even legal, but he gets to his desired result. Do whatever he has to get there. It's unprofessional. It is negligent, no doubt, at minimum, especially for the sheriff who is in the business of enforcing law. Thanks for watching this, and share this site, this website, with more people. We have to be able to inform the public on what is going on here so we can turn this county back into a law-abiding county at the government level again. Thank you.